Hey everybody, my name is Jared and I am a Master Mason in the state of Mississippi in the United States of America. And today the viewer's question is, in Mississippi, how spot on do you have to be with your proficiency? So before I answer the question, let me make sure that everybody watching understands. In order to progress from one degree to the next in Freemasonry, you have to display a proficiency in your knowledge of the degree that you have already received. So before you can go from entered apprentice to fellowcraft, you have to go into a lodge room and display your proficiency. There's a lesson that you have to learn and then be able to recite back in front of the lodge. And the question here is just how good does that have to be for it to count? And I think that that is a great question because I'm sure that too many times people have been concerned that if they don't get it 100% right, they're going to have to start all over again or start from scratch or some really crazy extreme situation like that. All I can tell you is how it is here in the state of Mississippi, so let me address that. It is specifically addressed in our Williams Digest of Laws, which is the bylaws of our Grand Lodge that tells us how we need to govern ourselves in general. So let me pull that up here and I will read it for you directly. It reads, "The Lodge possesses full powers of determination as to what constitutes an examination that displays suitable proficiency to the satisfaction of a majority of the members present. But such discretion as is vested in the Lodge membership is a wide discretion to be used both wisely and, in some cases, charitably." So let me try to rephrase that without changing the meaning too much, hopefully not at all. What it means is that there is no set grade for the proficiency. This isn't a you got to get a 95 out of 100 or you fail kind of test. This is a let's see how good you are and see how the lodge members feel about your proficiency. And I can tell you that I have seen both end results happen. I have seen where a brother has stumbled and fumbled all the way through the proficiency, but at the end of it, the lodge accepts him. Why? Well, generally, it is because we've heard him study before. Usually 2, 3, or maybe even more than that, brethren have helped him study, and they know that he knows the work. But when put in that position of having to give his proficiency back in front of a lodge, it sort of is tantamount to stage fright. And not very many people are good test performers. They know the work, they understand how to do things properly, but when it comes to the test time, they choke. And in the lodge, I think this is where that sometimes charitably comes in, that the lodge realizes this brother is dutifully working towards understanding Freemasonry and turned in a suitable proficiency. He knows what he's talking about. He just didn't perform it well. One thing we like to say in Freemasonry is not everybody is a ritualist. That means that there's a lot of memory work involved in Freemasonry, and not everybody can do that. But that doesn't mean they're a bad Freemason. It just means that they're not good at doing the ritual work. They could be the most charitable, loving, giving, helpful person out there, the best father, the best husband, and just the best citizen, the best community supporter, all those wonderful things. But tell them they have to remember some ritual work and essentially put on a play, and it's just not their thing. Well, this is kind of the same situation. You understand the work, you know how to do it, but then you sit down and have to essentially give a test, and it's just not their thing. So that happens, and I wouldn't say it happens frequently, but it happens. I have also seen where someone has given a proficiency and missed very, very little, and that the lodge has said, no, you need to study another week, maybe 2, come back and do your proficiency again. And generally that is because we know that this person does have that capacity to perform in that situation. and that person, we know that that person wants to hit that 100% or as close as they can perfect proficiency return. And so we encourage that brother by pushing him a little bit further and say, no, we're not going to let you skate by just because you only missed 5 or 6 words or misplaced something out of order or something to that effect. We're going to tell him, come back, try again. It's only one more week. And like I say, I have seen that happen. It happened. Both of those situations have happened in my lodge. And I'm proud that they have, because it has always worked out in our benefit to not let anybody just skate by. Nobody gets a free pass and gets told that they have a suitable proficiency just so they can get their next degree. They have to learn the work. But we take the time to really know our members and understand, is this person really ready to move forward? And if they are, they'll get it every single time. So I hope that gives you an answer onto how things work in my lodge, and I think generally here in the state of Mississippi. I read you the rule. It doesn't say that you have to perform, there's not a test grading matrix that's involved with this. Nobody sits there and says, you got 5 things wrong, sorry, that's too many, and you have to start all over again. And that it is the discretion of the lodge. The Grand Lodge can't come in and say, that person wasn't ready enough to become a fellowcraft. If the lodge made that determination that they were ready to move forward, then that is the final word in our state on how that works. So what happens if somebody is told, no, your proficiency is not satisfactory? It's not a reset. You don't lose your membership in the fraternity or anything ridiculous like that. You go back to doing exactly what you did the day before. You go back to studying with a brother and working towards getting your proficiency better and better. And then you come back the next week or the next time the lodge is ready to accept your proficiency, and turn it in again. There's no losing your membership, as I said. There's no having to re-get your entered apprentice degree or dramatic things like that. And nobody's going to shake their heads or think worse of you if you need to try it again. I'll tell you another little anecdote. We have, at times, tricked brothers into giving their proficiency where they didn't realize what was really happening. We were up in lodge just conducting regular business, and we would have a brother start giving the proficiency as if he were teaching the lesson to somebody else. And at the end of it, it turned out, he finds out that he just turned in his proficiency. And that's another way that we kind of deal with that stage fright issue. If we know the person just doesn't do well in that kind of an environment, we mix things up a little. So he can still give a proficiency, but not in the same kind of test environment that most proficiencies are typically given in. So if you're a Freemason, I hope that made some sense to you. If you're not a Freemason, then it probably made no sense whatsoever. But if you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them as quickly as I can. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.